wanted to bring some inspiration to the room. This incredible lady, she had a dream to bring vegan food to Atlanta. And this was on Atlanta's West End. She not only accomplished this dream, but she's expanded her vegan empire in a short few years. Please welcome the founder and CEO of Slutty Vegan, ATL, Pinky, come on out.
Hey guys, hi. Hi everybody.
Listen,
Hi.
gorgeous.
Happy Super Bowl.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes.
Welcome.
Thank you for joining
Hey y'all.
us.
I'm bringing some Southern hospitality
Yes.
I know that's right. Pinky, welcome to the show. Okay.
Thanks for having me.
So first off, congratulations on like everything. I was looking at one of your posts and you reflected back on 2021 and I was like, yo, she was killing it. And then kicked off 2022 on the cover of Essence. So yes. So okay, so tell us about that experience. Like
I'm still in the experience. Have y'all seen the cover of Essence magazine?
She's on
I'm in
there.
You know, it's been an amazing journey. When people ask me how I feel, I'm like, all of my wildest dreams came true. I'm that little 10-year-old girl that said, when I grow up, I'm gonna make it, I'm gonna be a star. Like, I'm gonna be bigger than life. And here I am, looking not like the status quo, on the cover of one of the largest magazines in the world. And I earned it. And it feels so good when you earn your keep. So, you know, I'm happy about that.
I know that's right. Okay, so tell us about Slutty Vegan. Like, why did
Talk
you?
about the name first.
Let's go.
Let's start with the name.
So can I have story time?
Yes.
Okay, so anybody ever heard of Slutty Vegan? Yes. Okay.
Of course.
So I used to be a television producer. So I come from the TV world. This is my world. I was a producer for The Maury Show for 3 years. I was a casting director for Yana Fix My Life and a whole bunch of other shows. So I had a restaurant at first, created this beautiful restaurant in Harlem. Shout out to Harlem, New York. And the restaurant did seemingly well. But for my 20s, I spent blood, sweat, and tears.
Wait, you were working in TV and running the restaurant?
I did. I'm Jamaican. I do everything.
You do everything?
Multiple jobs.
So I was in New York, had this restaurant, took my 401k and really built it up. But I was hustling backwards because I didn't know the first thing about really running a business. But I needed that to happen because it really put me in position to be able to open up another business. So I lost it to a grease fire, lost everything. Car got repoed, got kicked out of my apartment, literally went flat broke, failed relationship. All of the things that you never wanted to happen in a business happened for me. And then that same week, I got a call saying, do you want to work as a supervisor and producer on the show called Yana Fix My Life? So I'm like, hell yeah, I'm going. So I moved back to LA. I used to live here, actually. And while I was in LA working on the show, they called me and said, hey, Pinky, we want you to come back to Atlanta where I went to school at. And they said, we want you to work on the show for about 3 months. So I packed up my 1-bedroom apartment. I was living in the Valley, okay? So I packed up my 1-bedroom and I said, I'm gonna come back in 3 months. When I was in Atlanta, I wanted some vegan comfort food on the late night, right? So all of my friends was like, okay, all right, what you gonna eat? I'm like, I'm tired of eating a side salad and fries
And French
every day.
fries,
Yes.
Yes.
And it hit me like a light bulb, which is why I tell people like that idea that's supposed to work for you, like it really don't take a lot of building and all that stuff. It's just gonna hit you, like it's gonna hit your spirit. And that hit my spirit. So it started as a ghost restaurant. And you asked me about the name, but I'm giving you more than what you asked
No,
me.
this is great.
So it started as a ghost restaurant. I named it Slutty Vegan because if I would have named it Pinky's Vegan, nobody was coming. But I knew that I could help people to reimagine food in a way that they've never seen it before. If I make it provocative, if I make you want to ask questions, and I did that. And I went from ghost kitchen to food truck to now having 5 locations, in the process of opening 5 more locations, and a whole bunch of other amazing things happening, closing on a really big raise and cookbooks and all of this good stuff. And it just shows me that like when you are in alignment with your vision, everything will work out for you.
I know that's right.
That is good.
All right. So y'all done already got a glimpse of, if you have listened to any one of Pinky's interviews, if you don't walk away like wanting to be
Inspired.
the best, whatever, you know, create the next Fortune 500 company, like I don't know what you were just listening to then. So where did that drive come from? Like where did that passion?
Passion comes from everywhere for me. The first layer of it was the day that I was born, and obviously I didn't realize it now, full circle moment. My father was a big time drug dealer in Baltimore. So the day that I was born in December 8th, 1987. Shout out to my 80s babies. my father was being sentenced to 30 years in prison. So while I was getting my freedom and coming into the world, my father was losing his, right? So I grew up watching a Jamaican mother who at the time didn't have her citizenship. She working at McDonald's, working at the bank. She's a singer, she's a musician, she's a dancer, she's doing Sankofa, she's doing everything. Then I see my father behind bars, having to see him 2 hours at a time on holidays, but telling me about business and entrepreneurship and how to be a hustler, even behind bars and combined. So my motivation was to make sure that when I grew up, I never had children that would have to experience what I had to experience. My mother obviously did the best that she could, but I'm like, we ain't gonna live a mediocre life because I'm not regular. Right? Like, we're going to make sure that we're going to have all the things that we want, and we ain't got to beg, borrow, or steal from nobody, and we're not going to make no illegal decisions because we live in righteously, right? So I had it in my mindset that I was going to work so hard that my mother would never have to work a day in her life again. And that is really my biggest motivation.
That's beautiful.
Yeah,
that really is. Now, have you always been vegan, or what happened? Like, how did you?
What was that transition?
Yeah.
So I ate some chicken in the past.
Okay.
My mother's a Rastafarian, so I grew up in that lifestyle. So that's Ethiopian Christianity. Never seen my mother wear makeup. Clearly, I got makeup. I'm like, I'm not my mother. She never wore earrings, never shaved, nothing. A very natural woman. So we grew up eating Ito food. And so I like to consider myself growing up as a vegetarian. And 8 years ago, I decided to go vegan cold turkey because I'm that girl. I'm like on YouTube looking at a challenge, looking at a fast, right? Like trying to be better, right? Opening up my consciousness in any way that I could. And that was the best decision that I ever made for a couple of reasons. One, because I have this level of clarity that is so unmatched because I don't eat the flesh of a dead animal. And nothing wrong with the people who do in the audience, right? I'm not that vegan. I'm not like, oh, you're going to hell if you don't eat vegan. That ain't me. I don't care what you eat. I care about me, right? But I also want to encourage people to eat better. That's the first piece. The second piece is it allowed me to position myself in my purpose. You know how people say like, you got to find your purpose? And for a long time, I was very confused about what that purpose was because I'm like, I ain't got no real talent. I know how to run my mouth, right? Like I know how to talk to people. I can't sing. I can't dance that good, right? But I realized through my lifestyle and wanting to see my friends live better, look better, feel better, I was able to walk into my purpose. So now I get to do what I love. I get to help a lot of people, and I get to get paid to do it. That's purpose, right? That's good. And that feels so good to me. So I'm so glad that I did it. I'll never go back. I just had a daughter 6 months ago, and she's vegan too. Do I look good, y'all? I just had a baby, y'all, 6 months ago.
I was just about to say.
But
amazing.
I'll never go back, and I'm happy that I made that decision.
Yes. Okay, so I watched your Breakfast Club interview where you spoke about like success not being just about money, and essentially making sure that you are inspiring other people to pursue whatever it is that they want to do. Can you speak a little bit about that, just essentially reaching back to other people? Because I feel like, especially with Instagram and stuff, people secure the bag and they just done with it, but not really looking back and pulling the next one.
What I learned for me specifically is anytime I've ever, which was very rare in the very beginning, a long time ago, anytime I ever put money first, it never worked, right? And I believe that when your intention is in the wrong space, then things will never work out for you. I don't care what it is, whether it's personal or professional. So everything that I do gotta be intentional first. It gotta be mission driven first, because I tell people this all the time. I'm a magnet to money. Money gonna come to me, right? Like I attract it just because of what I speak out of my mouth. So nothing that I do, I don't care if it's $1 billion on the table. If it don't feel right in my spirit, I cannot do it. And everybody should always think like that as well, because what I've learned is because I don't move behind money, money is important, obviously. It provides us a level of freedom to get the things that we want and what we need. So we're gonna need it, it's going to have to come, but that shouldn't be a part of the first step. And because I didn't create Slutty Vegan for money, I believe that's the reason why I still almost 4 years later have lines down the block. So if you are an entrepreneur, like make sure that what you're building is intentional. Who are you helping? What problem are you solving? Like how are you making the world better? Because as a result of that, the money is always going to come, and you're going to try to figure out how to stop it from coming so fast.
Yeah.
I'm in a position where I'm able to say no to the biggest opportunities that I only dreamed of because I never moved for money first. I turn down opportunities because I've never moved for money first. And when you're pure-hearted and intentional about those things, everything will always work out for you.
That's beautiful. That's a word right there, y'all. Listen, So I have a question. Let's talk about your delicious food.
Yes.
Real quick, because I don't know if you guys have tried her food, but I just want to talk about when you came up with these ideas. Were you like, I want to make this food taste like the food that people that eat meat enjoy? So like, what was your intention behind it?
So that's absolutely right. So the first piece is helping people to reimagine food. So although I didn't grow up eating burgers and fries, everybody around me grew up eating burgers and fries, right? So I knew that if I created something that tasted like the real thing, then people will want it. 97% of the people who come to Slutty Vegan are meat eaters. That's my audience. I don't need the vegans. They already got it figured out, right? Like we already know what to eat, right? But the people who eat pork and chicken and beef, those are the people who I want, because then I can be able to change your mind. Even if you don't want to go vegan, you could try Slutty Vegan and be vegan for Slutty Vegan, right? So it worked that way because, come on, let's talk about it for real. I lived in LA for a long time. Like, you know, sometimes us vegans could be very aggressive. And I didn't want to have a business, for real. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Really?
Listen, I didn't want to be that person. And I didn't want to create a business around that. I wanted to create a business where the experience was so magnificent and it felt like you were having nostalgia and coming to your favorite place on earth, like Hershey Park, King's Dominion, Universal Studios. So you come for the experience and you leave with the food. And in order for me to meet the people where they were, I had to really add some fusion to it. And that's like hip hop music, like top 40 trap, make people feel good and infuse the culture and entertainment in it. And when I started to do that, I realized that people were having so much fun in my business. They didn't even realize they were eating vegan food.
You up there dancing and
Right, so then celebrities started to come naturally endorsing my brand. Right? Never had to pay a celebrity to say my food tasted good. And I had everybody you can think of. Just recently, Justin Timberlake just came to my restaurant and ate a burger. I'm like about to pass out. But yes, it just tells you that like when you create something that's like so extraordinary and different from everything else, it really will work for you. And I got some pushback in the beginning, right? But now that pushback really turned my motivation on to go harder, and it's paying off for me. Yeah.
Okay, so you spoke about your cookbook being released this summer?
Yes.
Okay, so what can we expect from this?
So I have a cookbook coming out. It's called Eat Plants, Bitch.
Slutty Vegan.
Yes.
It's a #1 new release out right now, and it's slated to come out this summer. And it's 91 recipes for the meat lover in you. So remember, I said my audience is the meat lover. And it's all the recipes that you would cook in the house. So if you know how to read, which everybody here knows how to read, then you will be able to experience all the goodness that's in the food truck, in the cookbook. And what I did is I took a handful of local chefs and cooks in Atlanta and beyond, some in LA, some in New York, some in Chicago, and allowed them to put their own recipes so that they can showcase their business as well, because I'm all about bringing the community up. So hopefully you pre-order the book. It's coming out. It's going to be amazing. I have so many amazing things going on, and I'm just happy
Excited.
to be here.
Well, I can't wait to get it because I'm a little challenged in the kitchen. But I done told people
It's all
multiple
good.
times, as long as the instructions are clear, I am good to go. Okay?
Yes.
I look, my husband laughing. He know he'll still eat it though, but he'd be like, a little too much salt on that one, babe.
Don't worry.
when you talk about your recipes, because I'm not going to let you, I don't want you to tell everybody your secrets, but I do want to know, is there one thing that you made or that you tried to make vegan that was difficult? Like, what was the hardest thing you were like, you know what, this one I haven't quite?
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing. So it was all like.
Yeah, so I'm not a chef. I want to be clear. I'm not a chef. I did not go to culinary school.
Okay.
But I am a foodie and I know food that tastes good.
Okay.
So it don't matter what it is. If you know good food, food is good whether
Yeah.
it comes from an animal or not, right?
Okay.
So what I've been able to do is get creative in the kitchen, right? I just went to, there's a restaurant, y'all ever heard of Doomies? So I took my boyfriend, I'm like, we're going to a taco spot. He's not vegan. And he like, okay, tacos, I want tacos. But it was like a vegan taco and he didn't know and he liked it. But the moral to my story is that like food that's not vegan can taste, food that's vegan can taste really, really good and taste like the non-vegan stuff. You just got to know how to apply the seasoning.
How to season.
Yeah, and just make it taste
Challenge
good.
a little bit,
And
yeah.
you'll never know the difference for the most part.
I need to learn some new recipes.
Yes.
We dibble dabble in the vegan world here and there. So,
All right, so as you just mentioned, you became a new mommy,
Yes.
and your business is catapulting, of course. How have you been able to find the balance? Well, I don't even want to say balance, the harmony, because I don't even think there's a such thing as balance, but harmony with new motherhood and being a business owner.
That's a good question. So when I was pregnant, that was the biggest anxiety for me, right? Like, I love business. I love the idea of being an entrepreneur. And what gave me anxiety is that I never wanted to have to compromise. I wanted to be a really good mommy, and I still wanted to be a really good CEO. But what I learned is that you don't have to compromise, right? As long as you got support, and as long as you are clear and create systems, because sometimes we don't understand that you got to create systems in your household too, right? Especially as entrepreneurs, and I had to learn that. Like, I create systems in my business, but you create systems at home too, and you treat home like a business. But because I have a village and people that want to see me win and already know that like their livelihood depends on my wins, they're also going to continue to support me, not just for that reason, but they want to see me grow and win. And I've always been like this. I've always been a career woman first, and I want mothers to understand, like, you shouldn't have to take the back seat just because you had a baby, right? I know so many mothers like, well, I had a kid and I'm putting that first. No, like, you can have it all. You can be a woman and have it all and have everything and do all the things that you wanted to do, children or no children. And I'm just so happy that I have the right people in my space to be able to support that dream so that I don't have to stop living it and create a legacy for her so that she don't have to work for nobody for the rest of her life.
that's right.
Yeah.
Amen to that.
Have you been having any or experiencing any mom guilt?
Yes.
That's
Because I'm
real.
pregnant again. So hopefully she...
Wait a minute!
Don't tell nobody that.
She said, "Don't tell nobody."
When are y'all airing this?
Until
When is
next
this
week.
airing?
Huh?
I'm hot, right? Listen, the light. That's the only mommy guilt because I'm having another baby now, and I just had a baby, right? I've been hot in the kitchen, but I'm having another baby now, and I want to make sure that like my first child is reaching all the milestones, and that she gets the same amount of attention that the new baby gets. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nah, you'll be great. I already know you're gonna kill it. Okay.
I think about my two boys because they're close in age, and I feel you on that. When you have them really close, you always feel like that guilt of the first one kind of had to grow up a lot quicker than you expected them to. So that's a real
Oh, and they're gonna be close.
Yeah.
They're gonna be close.
Like
And
12
my
months
two are
apart. Close.
they're best.
Your Irish twins.
It's his fault.
Do you see yourself getting back into media, like TV?
I'm in it now.
Wait a minute.
I'm talking to y'all. This
Oh.
is media, TV.
I thought you
So I am working on some TV shows. Since Essence came out, there's been a lot of really big opportunities to do TV. So now I got options. Thank you, God. God is good. I just finished a documentary for Slutty Vegan about the meteoric rise of Slutty Vegan in the pandemic. So remember, we're still in it. Like, the world is crumbling on this side. My businesses continue to thrive and grow on this side. So I'm doing a documentary about how all of these elements were happening around this business that continue to grow. So that's coming out this summer. So I'm excited about that. And then I just signed a deal to do a reality show.
Nice.
Let's go.
Yes.
All right. So
about
what's it gonna
Slutty
be about? They gonna come in a restaurant?
It's gonna be like a Wahlburgers, but
Okay.
Slutty Vegan style, yeah.
I know,
About
that's
how we
right.
get to build this empire because we're moving really fast, right?
Yeah.
In 4 years, we've done what a lot of other businesses have never been able to do, which is a blessing for us. And people are just going to document all of the good things that we have going on.
Are you going to show people how to cook this vegan food?
No.
Okay.
But I'm gonna show people how to be a boss and be an entrepreneur and be motivated.
Fair
Yes.
enough, fair enough.
That's what I'm
Love
going to do.
Listen. I remember learning about Slutty Vegan through another one of my favorite podcasts, The Friend Zone. Like them saying, Slutty Vegan is doing a pop-up in Charlotte, we there kind of thing. And just to your point, like, you took off. And it was amazing to watch from afar and just seeing that everything you got going on now, everything that's to come, like, you are such an inspiration. And we are so excited to see what else Slutty Vegan has.
Yes.
Thank you. And I'm just excited for the growth, and I'm just blessed to be in spaces like this to be able to talk to y'all. And for the people who don't know me before this, please just look us up. And we do a lot for the community. I didn't even talk about that. Like,
Yes, okay.
We want to talk about that.
They've been giving us timestamps, but I've been like, no, we got to talk about this life insurance. We got to talk about like all this stuff because I'm like, that is dope as hell.
So I started the Pinky Cole Foundation in 2019. And when I talk about be intentional, that's what I meant. And it was really just a way to formalize helping people because I love to do that. So we've done a lot. I've partnered with the Steve Harvey and Marjorie Harvey Foundation to provide lights for families. I've donated hundreds of thousands of fruits and vegetables to people in the community. I paid the local rents of businesses so that they didn't have to close to the pandemic. I paid the balances of 30 college students so that they could graduate. When Rashard Brooks was murdered, my boyfriend and I, we partnered together and we life insurance for the family, brand new car, $600,000 worth of scholarships. And just most recently, we partnered with Prudential to provide life insurance for every Black man in Atlanta who makes $30,000 or less. And that's just a short list. Like, I've done so much, like Department of Juvenile Justice, so much stuff. And that is what fulfills me, to be able to help people.
Let's talk about that life insurance one because, again, from the Breakfast Club interview, and I found out about you guys' partnership, that was something, one, that you don't even think about, right? Like you don't think about needing life insurance, or excuse me, the everyday person usually don't think about needing life insurance, but to gift that to somebody that don't even see that being a possibility, like, can you talk a little bit more about that?
Absolutely. So we created the Square One campaign, and what I realized about people in general is that we will insure material items before we insure our lives. Right? And it's so important to make sure that our lives are secured, not just for the fact that if I pass away, then I make sure that my family is taken care of. That's obviously number one. But there's financial literacy that's involved where you can pull money out of your life insurance policy, right? So I wanted to make sure that for the people who didn't have the access or the resources in our communities to that information, I'm gonna be the change that I wish to see. Like, I wanna make sure that you understand that, like, we ain't gotta always do GoFundMes and fish fries, and no shade to the people who do that, but like, we live in different times now and we have the elements and the resources. We just got to present it to the people, and that's exactly what we're doing. We already signed up a whole bunch of people, and it's funny because people are like, free, what's the catch? I'm like, it ain't no catch. Like, it's absolutely free. You pick your beneficiary, you pick your policy, but this was just something that we wanted to do because Black men have always been getting killed at an all-time high. And it's like, it's a sad reality. Like, how do we combat that? And I ain't no politician, but I don't need to be in office to make change. Yep. Right? So to be able to do that has just been a blessing, and I'm excited about doing it beyond Atlanta. I'm excited about coming to LA and coming to Baltimore and North Carolina and all the cities who really need it the most, and expanding it, not just from the Black man space. We just need to understand that that is where the problem lies the most, and then really expanding it out so that all people understand how important life insurance is.
Well, Ms. Pinky, you are amazing.
Absolutely.
We can sit and talk to you forever, and we thank you for sharing, spending this time with us and sharing everything that you've taught us. I've learned so much just sitting here listening from the food side, from the entrepreneur side. We will definitely follow you and probably have some follow-up questions as well. But thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. You guys, Ms. Pinky Cole.
Thank you.